Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Always so happy to find you here. I do upload on Thursdays, but for the month of February, I have been uploading a video every other day. I had intended to upload every day, but that hasn't happened, and we're in the middle of February now, so maybe I'll improve for next year. I have really been enjoying bringing these specific topics about Black history for the month of February, which is Black History Month, and exhibiting more truths about our culture, about our history, about our present day affairs, about our successes that oftentimes the media doesn't cover. Small snippets of things along the way. And I hope you have enjoyed the ones that I selected for us. I've certainly enjoyed discovering them and sharing them. I am today following up for this video the last one that I posted 2 days ago for Valentine's Day. If I would call it my first, well, it would be my second, actually, my second demand for our inquiry, our push, our request of a topic, it would be this one. And the last one was the topic of Soul Synchronicity, which I'll drop in the description box here for your reference if you want to go back to that. That was actually a year ago. So I'm in line with my energy. But this one is love zones, which also embrace soul synchronicity. So like I said, I'll drop that in the description box. What I got from the feedback from everyone, well, the feedback that I got, read the comments. I'll also drop that link from Valentine's Day here. The feedback that I got was very positive, strong interest, more information on the energy of love, I'll say it that way. Surprising to me, surprising to me was that I'd say 65 to 70% of the likes and the comments and the tell us more and talk more about this came from men. Now that's surprising for me because I would think that my women friends, my girlfriends, my queens, my soldier crew would hear and they responded, but they were way outnumbered from the men. And so it makes me think, hey girls, what are we not doing right? Or what are we missing? Or what are we not seeing? I began to think about love from the male's point of view, not masculine point of view, from the genderized point of view, from the men, because the men were speaking in the comments, direct messaging even. So for me, in this approach, I'm a pensive person. I'm a thoughtful person. I am in thought often, particularly before I make any decisions that I think may impact my life one way or the lives of others one way, in my information even. So having said that, I'm thinking I'm just going to follow up to the 3 primary comments that came. Again, mostly from men, speaking as a woman, okay? Speaking as a woman who dates men, because I understand now there's a wide, vast variety of different types of dating. So I'm speaking from that position. Having said that, I am also believing that I will, within the next couple of days or so, do a live, which I haven't done a live before. So I'm excited about that. Do a live YouTube, a live Instagram, a live Facebook with a panel of a few men, not too many. And so that they could give the feedback and help us, women especially, understand what their I guess comments would be, or messaging to us would be, or what they really would want us to know, I guess I would say. So that's my intention for the next couple of days. And so the universe is perfect in its righteousness because the timing is perfect. It is my Friday off tomorrow, and Monday is President's Day. So I got the time, time to do this. And I'm all caught up on my chores. So the timing is perfect. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. I love you. I love you. What I'd like to do in this follow-up, so this is the first part, is address the core three things that men were saying. And that is one, oftentimes there is not an orchestration of the energy, meaning one person may be here and another person may be there. And it's hard to embrace that and bring that together in the way that I was describing it a couple days ago for Valentine's Day. When I was describing it at Valentine's Day, I was describing a coming together of two people who were both ready for each other. They had both did what I call the work, meaning that their past issues, their development in love, their understanding of love, their understanding of energy, the understanding of spirit, the understanding of reverence for the love, of honoring the love, no bad baggage, and a clear zone, a clear love zone, and then understanding their service to their partner. And I was speaking, because it was Valentine's Day, with the understanding that the swanning had occurred for those people, those two people. So, in other words, in the perfect world, the feedback that I was getting, the feedback that I got primarily from men, is that it is often not that. It is often this imbalance. One person's here and one person's there, and it's not quite there, and they haven't connected. And to that I say, it is the developmental part that you don't always get exactly what you want in a person, but it's the developmental part. And this is what I said in the other video, in that if you abandon too quick, you get a Purple Heart. A Purple Heart in the service, in military, is there was some hurt that you incurred by way of service, by way of servicing. You're still a grand soldier. You're still, you know, our patriotic pride. You got hurt. And here's a Purple Heart in honor of that. So when you come together at this, this is me talking, okay? I don't make this subject my expertise. I just know my experience in it. And I don't devote too much time to this because my channel is really about treatment in all relationships, particularly at work. So this was just for Valentine's Day. But to that degree, if you are working towards what I call swanning, and I'm going to drop a link about swanning. Swanning is the ultimate type of mammal animal love. Once they get their mate, they're in it together, and they swan their lives together, and the love always comes together. And it's almost like, for me, my words, it's almost like synchronized swimming. They just come together. They just come together. And I love you, kind of thing. We don't often do that because we haven't dedicated the time to do it, to develop ourselves in it, let alone to offer it to someone. And that's why we don't have it. And that's why it's so rare. And that's why when it does appear, you don't recognize it and you foolishly abandon it. So that's the answer. We have not come ready in the sense of the Purple Heart. There was all the military training before the battlefield. There was all the way you put your uniform on, the way you do your commands, the way you do, and there was all of that before the battlefield. So if love is a battlefield, when you get out there, you should have come ready. And if you didn't, you will lose that person. There's no reason to stay with you. Respectfully, this is high energy. This is high level love energy in which I am speaking right now. The person that did the work, that's at that high level, as they reach that high level, their tolerance for what I would say bull lessens. They just won't tolerate less than. It's not that they're better than you. It's not that they're not willing to work with you, but too much of that wastes energy that they work so hard to harness. And they will let you go. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how badass you are. It doesn't matter how fine you are, how beautiful you are, how sexy you are. It doesn't matter to them because their energy source has superseded anything ever in their life, and it's sacred to them. There's no negotiation. It's not that you're not of value. It's not that you're not important. It's just that they are not going to sacrifice anything for it. You see the energy? It's too sacred. So that's why it happens. The second thing was, if the two come together and it doesn't, what I call Swan. So the two are both ready and it doesn't come together and it comes together and it doesn't connect, it doesn't Swan. Why do you think that is? Let me tell you why I think that is. One person is still in their old school mind. They did the work. They got woke up. They got aware. They got what Oprah calls a light bulb moment, but they didn't change. They're still the old person. It's like saying I have $1,000 in the bank, but I have no money in my wallet. Well, this is nonsense. And I call myself broke. Well, go get some of that. Well, I can't touch that $1,000. You're broke. You better go get it. When a person has come into your life, back into your life, returned to your life, reunited with you, and they blow it, it is their loss. Respectfully, this is grown-up conversation right now. It's love zone. It's the understanding of it. It is the reason why it's often lost. And that makes it the greatest tragedy because so few ever get this. So when they get it and they lose it, it's like, because now the energy goes to work on the person. The energy is like, I chose you. I helped you. I got you through this. You asked me for this desire. I've given you this desire. You came down the clear landing. I put the right perfect person in you and you abandoned ship. I must destroy you. I know it. This is adult talk. Back to the military field. Back to the military field. You don't approach the enemy and ask what you'd like for you to do to him. You immediately going to destruct you immediately, because if you don't attack quick, they will attack you. Now, I know that sounds feisty and fiery, but this is what this backdrop is. It is the energy of love, and love doesn't come quietly. It comes as a flame, or it comes calm. There's just 4 different elements of it: water, fire, earth, and air. Water, fire, earth, and air. Any one of them could be calming and loving, or could be destruction. This is what a hurricane, all of the water, an earthquake, all of it will shake you. But because we've been so uninformed and we don't want to take the journey through the various elements of the energy of love, when we hear it, it sounds foreign, even though the person speaking it sounds clear. This is what I mean by the one person's not ready. And that's the other reason why the other one will leave them. They will not stay. They may stay long enough for you to get, they may stay long enough for you to get ready, but if you don't, they will not stay. They've done too much work. So that's the swanning, the swanning, S, the abandonment, A. They have to leave you. If you're not coming, they will not stay. The universe is going to deal with you. You are that, whoever it is the ones that's abandoning it, you will get it. Here's what's going to happen. You will get dealt with very severely. And you'll be quiet about it because you'll be too embarrassed to say what it is. You won't even be able to identify it. But things in your life will start like karma. Your friendships will go crazy. You'll start drinking like mad. You'll go to the doctor, and the doctor say you have liver problems or you have this, and all these little things start happening. And the essence of who you were as a royal ready person will begin to diminish because of this. I'm not trying to be mean. I love you. I love you. I'm not trying to be mean. I am trying to say what the typical response of the universe is, because it's a universal, spiritual, elemental, energetic field law. You ain't gonna change it because you're such a badass, and neither am I. It's a law. It's an energy law. Study it for yourself. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I just know my journey. So there's the abandonment. So just don't abandon it, because what the universe looks at is that it gave you this and you abandoned it. And so that's disrespect and dishonor to the universe, and it will not take it. So that's the best way I can put it. Okay. The next is after that. So that's answering the guy's general questions. After that comes a depression, a destruction, a denial of the deeds that were done that made you first get a purple heart, then an open heart, then a damaged heart, then a heart attack. When I say heart attack, I mean the attack of the love in your heart. I don't mean the physical pulmonary heart attack. You go see a doctor. I mean your heart is being attacked. Your heart will be attacked because now it's in the war zone of it. Now, my first message was more about harnessing the love, because the questions came about why it doesn't happen. This is my response to why it doesn't happen. And at the end of the day, the bottom line is this: swanning, abandonment, and then destruction spells SAD. It's sad. It is a sad result when you cannot harness in the love in which you did so much work for. And that person was open to you. And that person desired you and cherished you and loved you in a way that no one ever else loved you. And the reason you didn't recognize it, abandoned it, didn't swan with it, is because you never had it before. And anything we're unfamiliar with, by default, we can neglect it. There was years ago, they used to be called VCRs. I know a lot of young people. General audience here is about 30. That's way younger than me. So, but there was this thing called a VCR. And as I was growing up, when we first got the VCR, I would go to people's house and it would always be blinking 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And I'd be sitting in someone else's house and going, I want to change, I want to fix it, because all you have to do is beep, 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 and set the time on it. I can't tell you how many friends I visited and that 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It got to the point to where it was just bothersome to me. And I would go home and I'd tell my grandfather, why does everyone know 12 o'clock? They're too lazy to get up and go over there and do it. That's what my grandfather would say to me. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I cherish my grandfather. I sometimes, now that I'm an adult, I feel like he was my Spengali and I just didn't know it. But he told me to go walk on water, I think I would try. But I was left with the fact that when someone doesn't do anything and it's just blinking right in front of them, they're just too lazy to do it. It has nothing to do with anything else. It has nothing to do that you recognize it and you would do it, or you're any better, who makes you any better because you change. Or it's none of that. It's that person. So that person, whether it's you or that other person, or your partner or you, if that person isn't aware enough as to who you are in your righteousness of love for them, they're too lazy to do the work for you. It's not that they wouldn't want you, or they wouldn't desire you, or they wouldn't desire this energy of love. They're just too lazy to do the work. Now, your decision has to be whether or not you will tolerate that. And that will determine that decision will determine where you are within this energy realm. 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you just get over there and fix it for them. If something else will occur, you'll always be fixing it for them. What I'm saying by that is the person must do the work in order to meet you at that level, in this level of love. Otherwise, don't approach this level of love. It will be too deep for you, and it will by default be abandoned by the other person or you if you're not ready for it in the first place. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So we want all these things, but come ready for these things. We want $1 million, but a lot of lottery winners are broke in a year because they don't know how to handle $1 million. You want this kind of love. He's handsome. She's beautiful. He's hot. She's sexy. They're both good people. And they can't bring their swan together. It's because the damage in one or the other of them is stopping them. And if one is ready and the other is not, it's just not going to work. I don't care how fine he is. I don't care how beautiful she is. It's just not going to step down your love. Leave this part alone, then. Leave this part alone. This is for high elevation. This is for transit level love. This is for touch me in the morning type of love. This is for this love carries no jealousy. This love carries no ought. This love is an example and a model of what love looks like. And this love answers the question that so many of us have had. What's love got to do with it? This is what love's got to do with it. The energy cycle of love. And I hope you're fortunate enough to have it. And I love you. Thanks for your inquiries and thanks for having me follow up on this. I hadn't planned on, but I'm just pleased. And we will do a chat. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but it will be live chat with men. And because it's Black History, and I'm dedicating this to Black History, I'm believing at this point I'd like to invite Black men, because Black love is special love. All love is love, but Black love is special love, and we have a conveyance that's different that I think most people culturally. So I believe this will be Black men, and if we decide to do something later in the year, then I'll open it to all genders. And so, unbiased in my love, I love you. Bye. Thank y'all for watching, and add your comments. Come back next time. Bye.